operational amplifier, or in short is called as op-amp. It is fundamentally a voltage amplifying device, and various external feedback components such as resistors and capacitors can be used between the input and output terminals, that's to perform various operations from the operational amplifier, and that's why it is given as a name operational amplifier. Now operational amplifier is a high gain voltage amplifier, and it has two inputs and a single output. And though the signal applied at the two inputs is taken as the differential input, which is amplified by a gain of approximately around 10 100,000 times of the input, means such a high gain is possible with a high gain amplification is possible with operational amplifier. That's why it is able to amplify very weak signals with the help of operational amplifier. As you can see, this is the schematic symbol of operational amplifier. We are given with two input terminals, inverting and non-inverting terminals. These are two high impedance inputs, and one of the input is called as inverting input, which is marked as negative sign or minus sign, right? And the other input, which is called as the non-inverting input, it is marked with a positive sign, plus sign. So the output voltage from the operational amplifier is the difference between these two signals applied at the two individual inputs, that is V positive and V negative, and it is amplified by a magnitude of gain, that is AOL. So AOL is nothing, it is the open loop gain. As we can OL stands for the open loop and A is nothing but the gain, right? So an operational amplifier also operates from, as you can see, positive power supply and negative power. This positive power supply is nothing but VCC, we define it by VCC, and negative power by VEE. So these are these DC power supplies which are connected, positive and negative. They can also operate from a single DC power supply, DC supply voltage also, right? So as we know, the input is amplified by an amplification factor of this much, known as the amplifier gain, and the output is depending upon the nature of these input and output signal. Depending upon the nature of these input and output signal, we can specify or we can classify the operational amplifier gain as like this. This is voltage, means voltage in and voltage out is there. The signal, the type of signal we are taking in is voltage, and out is voltage. In current, it is current in and current out. In transconductance mode, it is voltage in and current out. In transresistive mode, it is current in and voltage out. Now, what are the characteristics of an ideal op-amp? Ideal op-amp has infinite gain and infinite bandwidth. Gain, as we have seen, that it is very much high, but practically it is not infinite. But in case of ideal op-amp, it is infinite gain, and the ideal op-amp should have an infinite frequency response, so that it can amplify any frequency from DC signal to all AC frequency signals. All AC frequencies it can amplify. But most amplifiers, practically it has a some limited bandwidth is there. In case of ideal op-amp, the open loop gain is infinite. So open loop gain is the gain of the operational amplifier without a positive or negative feedback. That's why it is called as open loop. So an ideal op-amp should have an infinite open loop gain, but practically it ranges from 20,000 to 2 lakh. And ideal op-amp has infinite input impedance. We all are aware with the input impedance, it is the ratio of the input voltage to the input current. So it should be infinite without any leakage of current from the supply to the inputs. But there is a few leakage current is there in case of practical op-amp. I am also telling you the characteristics of the practical op-amp side by side to the ideal op-amps. So in ideal op-amp, it has zero output impedance. So output impedance should be as low as possible. So the output impedance of any op amp should be, any ideal op amp, it is zero without any internal resistance. So that it can supply full current to the load connected to the output. Next is it has infinite CMRR. Now what is CMRR? CMRR is defined as common mode rejection ratio. Common mode rejection ratio. So it is the ability of the operational amplifier to reject the common signals which are available at the positive and negative inputs, that is the inverting and non-inverting inputs. So the example, or very well it can be understood, that if some noise is available in the signal and that signal is applied at the both end, positive and negative, then that common noise signal get rejected and we get the at the output we get the amplification of the only the input signal, not the noise. So the CMRR of an ideal op amp should be infinite, or it should be, in practical cases, it should be as high as possible, and it is good for the smooth and noise free working of the operational amplifier. In ideal op amp, it should have zero input offset voltage. Now, what is offset voltage? Offset voltage means that the output of the operational amplifier should be zero when the voltage difference between the inputs is zero. But in most operational amplifiers, means practically the output will not be zero when the input at the input in the signal at the input is zero. So there is a minute voltage coming from the input. We will study about it in the further slides. Infinite slew rate. So the slew rate, we can say that the rate at which the output of an operational amplifier can change with respect to the input is called as slew rate. Means the change in the input should be captured by the operational amplifier, means every minute change should be captured and it should be amplified and be available at the output, as you can see. But practically it is not the case, and practically what happens when we apply a square wave at the input, what we get at the output, not the square wave but a delayed output is obtained at the output. Now coming to the equivalent circuit of the operational amplifier. Now ideally what we are seeing, that it is the inverting input, this is the non-inverting input, the voltage difference is there, this is the input impedance Zin and it should be as high as possible. This is the amplification is taking place, V2 minus V1 into A, V plus supply, V negative supply. This is the output impedance and output is taken with respect to ground. So this can be taken as the equivalent circuit of the operational amplifier. Now the ideal voltage transfer curve. What do you mean by transfer curve? Means the curve which is plotted between the differential input. Differential means Vd is equal to V in, V positive minus, this is equal to V positive minus V negative. This is the differential, called as differential input Vd. So the graphical representation of the output and the input versus output is the voltage transfer curve. And it is the voltage V naught plotted against the input voltage Vd, assuming what we are assuming here, that gain is constant. So this is called as transfer characteristics of op amp. Now the output voltage is proportional to the difference of the input voltage, but only up to this value VCC, and that is called as saturation value. So it is available up to VCC and VEE, and generally this VSAT is positive, VSAT is less than VCC, and minus VSAT is generally less than VEE. Clear? Now the various applications of operational amplifier. Operational amplifier can be used as an amplifier, as you know, but in which modes? In inverting as inverting amplifier, non-inverting amplifier, voltage follower. What is voltage follower? It follow the when the output follows the input. Comparator, when the two inputs are applied and these are being compared. Differential amplifier, the difference at the inputs is amplified. Summing amplifier, the summing of the two inputs is summed and these are amplified. As integrator, the input is integrated with the help of operational amplifier. Phase shifter, the input phase is shifted. Scale changer, the input is magnified to a some scalar value. And voltage to current and current to voltage converters, logarithmic amplifier and peak detectors. So these are the some of the applications of operational amplifier. Now this is an operational amplifier IC 741. This is an 8-pin IC, as you can see here. This is an 8-pin IC with input terminals at pin number 2 and 3. V negative means inverting input at pin number 2 and non-inverting at pin number 3. The output is taken from pin number 6. VCC is given at pin number 7, positive VCC, and negative VCC or VEE it is called as, it is given at pin number 4. These are the offset null pins which are provided. As we have seen in the ideal characteristics of the op amp, that it should have in offset null value is was specified there. So what happens in perfect ideal op amp, this should be the case that when there is no voltage at the pins connected to the two input terminals, the output should be 0. But whereas when the input differ by a small amount, means some value is there, we get the output value. Means even though the input is 0, we are getting the output to a some value, that is called as a offset value. So to make the output 0, we have to apply some voltage at pin number 1 and 2, so that the output gets 0. So practically we have to give some voltage that is provided by the specifications given in the data sheet by the manufacturers. So to make the voltages exactly equal at these points 1 and 5, this configuration or this type of circuit is made. A potentiometer is connected between output and between the ground. So offset null adjustment requires a potentiometer with its wiper connected to the this negative supply. This is the wiper of this potentiometer, it is connected to this negative supply. And some operational amplifier even require, this is 10 kilo ohm is connected, but 10k port is there, and in some cases 100k port is there, which is connected between output and the negative supply, and it is tuned in such a way so that we get a 0 voltage at the output. So this is done, and this is called as the tuning of the operational amplifier. And this is very much tuning is required in the applications where, and in applications we can say that where sensing is there, where instrumentation applications are there. So here small DC changes in those applications, small DC changes need to be monitored, and op amps provide the ideal way or the of amplifying the DC voltages before they are measured. So they are, before they are used for those application, this output voltages make 0 by providing the voltage at the pin number 1 and pin number 5. So inside of the operational amplifier, the various blocks are connected like this. This is the inputs. The input stage is the input. As you can see, first is the input stage. Then intermediate stage, written as intermediate stage, then level shifting stage, and the output stage. So input stage is nothing but it is a differential amplifier, and that differential amplifier is a dual input balanced output. We know that there are 4 configurations of an differential amplifier. So here used is the dual input balanced output differential amplifier, and the two inputs of these are connected to as taken as dual input, right? So that this stage provides most of the voltage gain of the operational amplifier and decides the input resistance of, because it is at the input stage, so it decides the input resistance of the operational amplifier. The intermediate stage, this is usually another differential amplifier. This is also an differential amplifier, but here it is used as dual input unbalanced output differential amplifier, right? So at the third stage, it is a level shifting stage. So due to the direct coupling used between the first two stages, this is the direct coupling which is used between the first stage and the second stage, the input of the level shifting stage, it is an amplified signal with some non-zero DC well level, some non-DC means DC value is also there. So level shifting stage, what it does, it used to bring that DC level to zero value, DC level to 0 volts with respect to ground. And this output stage, this is normally a complementary output stage, complementary output stage, and it increases the magnitude of the voltage and raises the current supplying capability of the output, and it also determines the output impedance of the operational amplifier, and it has to ensure that the output resistance of the operational amplifier is low. So this defines a complete operational amplifier stage. So the main circuit you are seeing is the differential amplifier which is being used in the operational amplifier. Rest, these two, third and fourth stages are nothing but for providing the current by providing the DC level to 0 and also providing the complementary output stage for increasing the magnitude of voltage and raising the current supplying capability of the operational amplifier that is provided by this output stage. Clear? So this is all about the basics of operational amplifier we have covered today, and these are the references. Thank you.